So there is the injured player on the sideline. She looks to be okay, just applying some ice to that sore right leg of hers. As we get back in play, and a good mark taken by Maddie Amaral, pushing across half back. She goes long to a Roos player who was all on her own. She couldn't take the mark. That was the number 16, Jeffrey. She has, in fact, it was 15 right. She's recovered well. Christine Lay, her first touch of the game. She got a hand pass and won herself a free kick. I think she's given away the free kick. I'm not sure what for, perhaps. I thought she got the hand pass. That's pretty stiff for her first touch of the game.
I reckon that is as stiff as they can. It's a terrible call. She got pinned for throwing it, but she definitely got a hand pass away. Again, just on that blind side, I don't want to rip umpires too much, but you can't call a free kick for something you didn't see. As we go forward now, Loughnane gets the ball here. She's got a couple of players on her, but she's very strong. You can see stays up in the tackle, gets wrapped around by the number 7, Macaulay. Going forward now, the Roos. Down there, that's Dooher. She's already kicked a goal. She probably wants another one. And I've tipped Trevine to kick a few. She hasn't got near it since, as she's now running in towards it. Lays a tackle, jumps over her own player. They stepped on each other there, Trevine and Rankin. Running through now. Blues getting numbers back around the ball, and they'll try and pick it up here. It's pretty scrappy far away there. Trevine with a right foot snap. It's bouncing. It looks to have bounced right on the line. I don't know if that went through or not. Goal umpire didn't move, so he said no. And the ball comes out. The Blues get out of danger. Amaral lets that go past her. It flew past her like a mozzie. And the siren goes. That is half time. And the Roos could have got one there, but they're still away to a 5-6-36 to 2-point lead. That brings us to half time. We'll be back right after the break with the second half of action from AFL Ontario.
Welcome back to Humber South. Start of the second quarter between the Blues and the Kangaroos. The ball goes up. It's been all the Roos so far in this match. Can they extend their lead and really run over the top of the Blues here as we expect? Although, can the Blues hang on and limit the damage? The ball in contest in the middle. Now the Roos can break through. Maddie Amaral gets a quick kick on her left foot, and what a good strong mark taken by Loughnane. We've called her name a few times today, Paps. We know she's a dangerous player, and she'll go back from about 25 metres out on a slight angle.
The thing about Loughnane as well, yes, she's a great player. She's also a very, very good coach and mentor for a lot of the girls on this team. That's a great kick there. She put it right over the top and put it through as easy as you liked. But as I was saying, yeah, great mentor for this team. Very successful player. Represented the Northwind a couple of times for Canada, and is definitely one of the premier female players in Canada.
It was very nicely worked forward by the Roos players. Amaral, a nice quick kick on her left boot. And was strongly taken by Loughnane. You feel that the Blues just don't have enough strong defenders to be able to limit her involvement in the game. And they've struggled to keep her off the score sheet here. Ball back in the middle. And the players once again milling around the football. This time Rankin gets hold of clean possession. She can't hand pass the ball though. 2 Blues players swarmed on her. Another good strong tackle. That was Tong, although the umpire has pulled out a free kick. I believe it's holding the ball. Could possibly have been in the back there. She just rode her a little. Not to be Tong. She has earned herself a free kick for a good tackle. Quick kick forward looking for Kelly Witt. Can't take the mark, but she's been infringed on and she will get a free kick. Looked as though Owasco was coming back with the flight of the ball and infringed. And now Kelly Witt will look to bang it into the Blues forward line. Paps, can they get their first goal?
Well, let's hope so for the sake of the game. They need to find some kind of control. It's all Roos, we know, as Amaral gets tackled as she comes down the ground. But umpire's called a free kick here. He's pointed towards the Blues. No, Roos, sorry. Okay, right. Free kick there. I don't know what it was for. It was a pretty solid tackle. Goes down the line. Rankin, nice mark overhead. Just goes back with the flight of the ball. Very courageous. Runs around her own player, Raskow. Puts it back inside 50. Down there is Loughnane. Great control off the ground. Wheels around onto her right. Kicks it down into the forward line. Blues players get back. Shepherd off the ball. No free kick. Gets down. A very scrappy play down there. That's Macaulay trying to get it out. Loughnane. Wheels onto her left. Going for number 3. I think she's missed just. That was on her left boot, J-Mac.
Pretty good effort, I tell you what. Even for the men, sometimes it's hard to kick on the opposite boot. She did really well there. Had no choice but to kick on her left. So we take a quick look. She was just waiting out the back for the free handball. She got just that from the Blues player. Couldn't quite accept the invitation and put it through, though.
Absolutely. That was crazy skill just to rove the ball. As the Blues again will have another shot. Go up into the top of the pack. Comes down. No collect just yet as they run out. And the Blues will find a bit of space. Hand passing out. I think she might have just stepped over the line. and we'll get a ball up inside the forward right pocket for the Roos.
Now, question for you, perhaps. How popular is women's footy back in Australia?
A lot of girls play it. I know that the league back home is growing quite a lot. The cool thing about Australian footy is from a very young age, boys and girls are encouraged to participate in Auskick, which is a program that the kids will play in. And then after they turn about 8 years old, they can join a club, both boys and girls. Yeah, so the sport is very much alive and well for both women and men. And yeah, it's a very cool sport. We encourage anyone to get involved, male or female, come down to your local club and have a kick.
It's great to see the girls here in Toronto playing the sport. I know they love playing it back in Australia, as you say, but good to see the girls running around playing footy such a long way from home, as the Blues will look to bring the ball out of their defensive third, and they have got the ball across half-back now. The mark taken there. That looked to be possibly Gabrielle Grant. She's kicked it forward, but the Roos players are back in numbers. And they will now look to bring the ball back into their attacking third. A big, long kick looking for a Roos flyer. Can't find it. Ball now on the ground and looks as though it's run out of play. And it will be another boundary throw-in over in the Roos forward pocket. In fact, a ball up, sorry, Paps.
Yeah, no worries. So the rules, obviously, with the league is that instead of a boundary throw-in, the umpire will just ball it up in the smaller field. The ball has been like a magnet in that pocket as it's kicked towards goal. It's rolling. It's probably going to go out of bounds again. It might be out the full because the actual boundary is actually brought in a bit. It's a bit hard to see on camera, but there's little pylons out there that have brought it in a little bit. So could be out in the full, could be another ball in, but that ball has not left that inside right pocket for the Roos for the last maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
So ball up here, opportunity for the Roos to extend this lead. Loughnane was flying in the ruck, couldn't quite get a handle on the footy. Blues have got numbers. They should clear, and they do, although it's all the Roos across half forward. Right, she's got plenty of time. She does pick up, finds another player. That's Amaral. Amaral quickly back off the mark. All the Blues players have flooded now into the Roos forward 50, so she has to go across field. This is Rankin. She ducks back inboard. Good piece of skill from Rankin. Bangs it on the boot, looking for a player at the back. That's Loughnane. She was all on her own. How does she get all on her own, Paps? And she bangs it through for the easiest of goals.
That was terrible defence by the Blues, unfortunately. Rankin has got a booming kick on her. She kicked it over the top. Loughnane was as free as a dove and just collects it up. You'll also notice about Loughnane with her Gaelic Irish football background, when she has that ball and she wants to kick it nice and straight, she actually kicks it a little bit on the side. It's accurate, it works, and we'll pay it, and it's her third goal of the game, and the Roos are just flying.
Yeah, that's one thing I meant to ask you about, Paps. We see a lot of Irish players come and play the game of footy. How similar are the two games?
It's funny, Irish football, Gaelic football is what it's known. A lot of the skills are easily transferable. It's a hand-to-foot game, obviously with the round ball. No contact in Irish rules, but so many transferable skills. There's a lot of men and women over here with an Irish background that can pick up Aussie rules footy at the drop of the hat. But we find that this sport obviously is very transferable. If you're a soccer player, a rugby player, a basketball player, you'll be able to pick this one up very easy. It's an all-rounder, as we say back home.
Absolutely, fantastic. It was Wright who banged it forward. Now Rankin, she gets hold of the ball, gives out a quick hand pass. Christine Lay, another opportunity for her, but she couldn't quite get it on the boot. Umpire says play on. Ball still in contest down in the Roos forward pocket. They've got numbers. Loughnane again. Surely she hasn't kicked another one. Perhaps she has. Unbelievable stuff from one of the best in the business.
That's her fourth goal, J-Mac. She's literally on fire out there. It's that hot out there, she might actually be burning a bit. But on both the footy sense and the weather sense, she's absolutely killing it. She's had probably about 25 touches today. Just looking at our stat chart, she's up around the 20s, that's correct. And yeah, she kicked the 4. So I don't know what they're going to do. If the problem there, though, is if you double team her or try to play on, you're going to release Rankin, you're going to release Trevian, you're going to release a bunch of other players that can just damage her. So I'm not sure where the Blues go from here. They've got to get something on the board.
I'll tell you what, maybe the Etobicoke Roos men's team might want to bring her in. She's quite a quality player, isn't she?
Any day of the week, Erin. If you want to come down and have a run with the Roos, please be my guest. As they go again here, the Roos in the middle of the ground. Can't quite clear it out. That was Vanessa Atley for the Blues. Goes to ground, does well. That's Chrissy Trice inside 50 again for the Roos. Hand pass out there by Amaral. Well, there's that Reloader, I'm sorry. Reloader gets to ground. That's Rankin at the bottom of the pack. There's Trice again. Had plenty of the ball today. Tackled without at it a little bit late, lets it go, picked up well, and the Blues will clear here, but it might only be temporarily. Amaral runs at it, doesn't quite get it. Chasing hard, there's Katie Nestor for the Blues in the middle of the ground now, slowly creeping forward, but Ruse numbers around the ball. Blues getting there. Ooh, very sloppy tackle by Russia Nois. I hope I've pronounced that right, my dear. I'm sorry if I haven't. Ball up has been called, and we'll stop the play right in the middle of the ground where we started.
Umpire just waiting until the ruck women are in position. They are, and he tosses it up. The Blues and the Roos battling for the footy. It looks as though the Roos have got the numbers, and they'll win out with a free kick. That's Hayley Trevine. She's wearing the number 18 jersey.
Famous number.
Very famous. Wayne Carey, the famous Roos player. Great kick across field. Powering through. That's right. Bangs it on the boot. And once again, Loughnane, she was all on her own, but she doesn't mark it. Can she kick the goal? She will. Easy as you like. She dodged around the defender. Although, when she watches it back, old Lockie, maybe she might feel she could have taken an easy mark.
Kick 5. Now, we've had this debate many a time. J-Mate, we're taking another look at it here. Great move. She jumped around. We'll go back to that debate in just a sec. Comes inside, has defence pressure, does the shimmy step and just back as easy as you like right through the middle. What is classified as a bag of goals? I've always learned it as 6 or more. 6 or more?
I would have said 5 or more.
Yeah.
Being personally a small forward, I tend to lower the expectation just a little bit.
I would say 4 or 5 is more of a satchel, maybe a small fanny pack. 6 is definitely a bag, and then anything more than 10 is definitely a complete truckload.
Well, I'm guilty of kicking a no-frills bag sometimes. Perhaps usually kick nothing. So here we go. Katie Rankin, she's battling again for the footy. Manages to get a hand pass out. The Blues now quickly, they've got numbers around the footy. Ashley Grant, she gets a quick kick away, but can't get it too far, although the Blues will smack it on the boot down forward. And now the Roos, here they come. Strong tackle from the Blues player. That should be holding the ball, and it was. Outstanding stuff, although Shalene Wright, she wasn't too happy about the contact.
I think that's Vicky Barron. She's pleading to the umpire. I did get the hand pass out. Sorry, Vicky, I think you might have got wrapped up there. And great tackle there. So Kelly Witt will go back now, I believe, and try. No, I don't think she can kick a goal from here. It looks like she's going to have a crack, but I think she'll just have to nestle this to the top of the square. They've got a little bit of tall timber there. The Roos are a pretty tall team as well. Blues now rarely inside 50, have to make the most of it. In front there, couldn't take the mark, was the 21. I think that was King, and King couldn't quite get it done. She gets back on the field, and Rankin takes the mark in the middle of the ground, and she'll wheel around. She loves that. She backs out of play, wheels around, and puts it on her right boot down the throat of another player on the outside. That might be Trevine. She's further up the ground, a little bit like old Richo back in the day. Back up the ground a little bit. That's Reloader chasing hard on the heels of McDonald. McDonald gets brought to ground. Reloader goes down as well. Wheeled around. Amaral, Loughnane, what a bunch of guns. Goes for goal. She wants the bag. Has she got it? Umpire, give us something, please. We can't see from here. Minor score, unlucky.
Oh, perhaps I thought she'd kicked, what would that be, maybe a 4th goal of the quarter. Unbelievable stuff. She's hit an absolute purple patch. We expect that from a very quality player. Let's take another look and see what happened. There she is. What I am amazed about, Paps, is that she continually gets on her own. I thought maybe the Blues coaching staff may have run a player with her, just sit alongside her.
Yeah, maybe. Again, the second you do that, you free someone else up. I mean, it's really just stemming the wound that's bleeding, isn't it? Like, I mean, they've got to do something to stop her because she's getting it. Usually does play further up the ground because she gets the pill so much, but she's kicking goals. Why would you pull her out of there? As they go again, the Roos, they go back inside. Amaral, both the Amaral sisters have been good today, tapping it along. That's Tom going down to get it there, gets down. And Reloader's been good today as well. I'll tell you what, she'd be one of the best on ground. She had plenty of the pill. Loughnane goes down again. Ball hits the ground, good tackling, good pressure, and still, even though they're 62-2 up, they're still applying pressure and really going hard at it. Very good signs for the Roos.
Certainly a sign of a class team. They don't take their foot off the pedal and looking to get the job done here in the final couple of quarters. The Roos, the ball will be back to the umpire. Another ball up here. Again, we see so many players milling around the contest here. Loughnane, second girl up. She taps it down forward. That must be a high tackle. Referee, umpire, I should say, lets it go. Thinking more hockey. And a quick snap at goal by the Roos player is out of bounds of the full. As we hear the end of the quarter, Paps. Very entertaining stuff. It's the Roos who lead the Blues here on AFL Ontario Rogers TV. See you soon.